There is one Apple service that you cannot buy directly from Apple, and there's no third-party accessory that enables it in the Apple Store. The only way to get it is by two specific ways, and one of them is so potentially expensive that to go down that route alone for one service would seem very excessive. I'm talking about CarPlay. CarPlay is an amazing service that brings the familiarity of your iPhone to your car's multimedia system. It's a simplified version of iOS designed around commuting for a safe, distraction-free experience. However, unless you have purchased a car in the last 5 to 6 years that supports it, it can be very expensive to have this feature added to your car. This is where Carpuride come in. They kindly sent over the W905 screen for me to try out. This 9-inch touchscreen display has a built-in Android operating system which allows you to use CarPlay in any car regardless of its age. So if you really want that CarPlay experience and you don't want to end up spending up to £600 to replace your car's media system, screen, or worse off, buying a whole new car, this is the one way in which you can achieve it for a fraction of the price. This monitor is very adaptable to any car you place it in. To start with, there are 4 options to output the audio to your speakers: Bluetooth, aux, a built-in FM transmitter, and if your car doesn't have any speakers, there's a built-in speaker directly in the screen. It also supports wireless CarPlay, which is absolutely incredible. More affordable cars made in the last few years support CarPlay, but only when you're connected using a USB cable. So with the W905, it connects via Wi-Fi to the screen to instantly start streaming with almost zero delay. I have an old BMW car with a built-in infotainment system. This system is so dated that BMW wants to charge me a small fee to upgrade the built-in sat-nav. Now, there are replacement screens I can buy, but it's so confusing to know which one will work and the prices can get very expensive. So what I've done is mounted this directly in front of the original screen with the included flat dash mount. Fortunately, nothing of interest is ever shown on the screen apart from the rear parking sensors, but I can get away with relying on my eyes and the audio alerts to reverse park. If you do require a parking aid, this model comes bundled with a reverse camera. I didn't install this myself, as during the review period I do not want to go through the hassle of modifying my car to install this camera, in the off chance that I did not like the product. If you didn't want to stick this to your dash, there is also an included suction mount which gives you a bit of extra positioning, and an optional CD drive accessory that is available to purchase separately. I didn't use the suction mount as I found it to be too distracting and blocked a lot of my peripheral view when driving. My dash already takes up a whole load of space in front of me, I don't want to add any more distractions. The CD adapter, which I was hoping to use so I could retain my original screen, while great in principle, I found to be too wobbly and very distracting. So unless your car's suspension is really soft and your car doesn't wobble at all, I would probably stick to the supplied mounts. The screen itself is great, it's super responsive to touch and the brightness is fantastic. I've left it on auto and I've not once had to adjust it, and even when I accidentally left the plastic screen cover on, it was still very responsive. CarPlay scales really well with it, apps, text and notifications are all crystal clear. Speaking of notifications, CarPlay is designed around being distraction free, so if you receive a text message, you'll never be given the opportunity to read it on screen. Siri will read out any notification to you from your contacts, just like you would hear if you were wearing AirPods. Replying is also done using your voice, and this is where I've been very impressed with the dictation. I rarely have to ask Siri to edit a message I've dictated. When it comes to apps, you're rather limited, and this is by design. You will have access to navigation apps like Google Maps, Waze, and Apple Maps, music apps, your calendar, audiobooks, podcast apps, and one of my favorite time savers, parking apps. Parking apps means when I roll into a car park that requires a ticket, I can easily pay for it from the comfort of my car without having to get my phone out or getting out of my car to stand in a queue at a kiosk on a potentially rainy day. There are certain apps that will not show up: Facebook Messenger, Instagram, X, Threads, or any social media app for that matter. This isn't a bad thing in my opinion. However, for Facebook Messenger and other apps that you can reply to through your notifications or using your Apple Watch, you'll be able to dictate a response through CarPlay. There is just no way to access it from the screen. The only way to read these notifications is to ask Siri, but for some apps, this could become a long list of generic responses. The The screen isn't just for CarPlay, it works with Android Auto, AirPlay, and even includes a built-in 360-degree dashcam, which provides some very good quality footage, even at night. This is another bonus to having this third-party screen, and they also include a TF card to store all your dashcam footage, which means that's one less product you need to buy. When it comes to bugs and issues, there's only a few. The screen takes a long time to turn off after I've locked my car, so I always end up unplugging it to save time and avoid any prying eyes. Also, WhatsApp voice calls have a habit of disconnecting from Bluetooth, whereas with regular phone calls and my previous usage with my built-in stereo, I would not have this issue. This may be a bug related to CarPlay, but I can't confirm as I do not have access to another system. Also, it's great that the power lead comes with a pass-through port for charging your phone, as if you go a full day of driving with your sat-nav on, it will eat away at your battery. However, I don't understand why the supplied cable is so long. I've had to go and zip tie it up to clean up the mess it leaves. Alternatively, you can charge it with any old regular USB-C cable and a regular adapter. Finally, we have to talk about security. It's no surprise that we live in a world where people will take something that doesn't belong to them, and in major cities, especially in the UK and the USA, people break into cars and steal bags, stereos, and all sorts of personal belongings. So this being a huge screen attached to your dash could be a very big security risk for you and your car. So I would advise unclipping this from your mount at the end of a journey and locking this in your glove box if you worry about someone breaking into your car. Would I recommend this product? If you own a car which doesn't have CarPlay or a modern media system, absolutely. This is a fairly affordable system that offers a lot of features with the added bonus of a dash cam and a reverse camera. This makes it a very good overall package. If you have a car with a built-in screen that does not support CarPlay, I can recommend it. However, you need to weigh up the pros and cons of having two screens in your car. You may wish to go for the more expensive route of replacing the entire inbuilt screen with an Android alternative, but if that seems like too much money or work, this will do the job. I'll leave a link to this display if you're thinking about picking one up. And I'd also like to say thank you for watching this video. Thank you to Carpuride for sending this screen over. It's been fun getting to use CarPlay in my old car and share my experiences with you.